The road to the Final Four has taken us deep into SEC country here to Tuscaloosa, Alabama today for the Crimson Tide and 15th ranked Kentucky. Sellout crowd better than 15,000 expected, and they are charged up outside Coleman Coliseum as we are just about ready to go. Let's get you the up-to-the-minute standings in the SEC. Now a three-way tie at the top. Florida, Kentucky, and the Gamecocks to see where the Crimson Tide sits 7 and 4 in fourth place. Hi, everyone. So excited to be with you here courtside in Tuscaloosa alongside Bill Raftery. I'm Spiro Ditas. We do have some news to pass along from Kentucky's point of view. Had some issues with their fire alarm at their hotel here in Tuscaloosa. It was pulled at 3:30 for the first time. Players had to be evacuated a second time at 5 a.m. That time everyone did stay in their rooms, but Rafter bleary-eyed nonetheless.
A novel way to win a basketball. Maybe I should have tried that right there, but Cal knows it's a mechanical, all about business today.
All part of what has been a rough couple of weeks for John Calipari and Kentucky. It started with back-to-back losses, something you rarely see from a Cal coach team. And then stretched to the limit, had to come from behind 14 down to win against Georgia in overtime. And then last weekend, that 22-point debacle at the hands of the Gators. A couple of extended practices this week. He ran him about 3 hours on Wednesday as he tries to recalibrate his team. One thing we do know, they are led all season long by their spectacular freshman Malik Monk.
Well, this Monk may have divine intervention. What a talented performer in the open floor. He's just extraordinary. He can bring the hammer, get up with the best of them. They just love to run the floor. That's an important aspect of their offense. But this is where I think he's dynamite. Strengths in the defense, can catch and shoot, can one bounce and shoot. He is just an extremely talented guy.
Numbers have been off the charts, although he has struggled of late. 21.9 points per game, leads the SEC and is second behind only Markelle Fultz of Washington amongst freshmen in the country. Meantime, Avery Johnson in Alabama. This is a program on the rise here in Tuscaloosa. Had that epic 4-overtime victory earlier this week in Columbia against the Gamecocks. Their first road win against a ranked team here in a dozen years. One thing we do know, they are a very young team, Raph, led by a couple of freshmen, Braxton Key and Dazon Ingram.
It's all right to be young, but to be talented certainly helps. And the one thing when you look at Key, the many aspects of the game that he can dominate. He's very good around the rim. He can bring it strong, put it on the deck, find people and make outside shots. And then Ingram can play the point guard or the shooting guard. He's got some range. He's got some ability around the rim and the ability with the Euro step to finish big time.
Bill, what about our AT&T fast analysis?
Well, the one thing we know is Alabama is an extraordinary offensive rebounding team. They bring 4 and 5 guys that can dominate at the rim. You miss, they go get it for themselves. A very good offensive rebounding team, solid around the rim. That's an aspect Kentucky's going to have to make sure they check out. And the other end, the ability to block shots. The interior defense is important for Kentucky because if they break down on the perimeter, the ability to block shots and get out in the open floor. And wow, did they bring it strong, Spiro.
Well, just how good is this Kentucky team as they get set for a huge road test in the SEC? And what does Alabama have left in the tank after going 4 overtimes earlier this week? Starting lineups in the opening tip next on CBS. CBS Sports college basketball coverage is sponsored by Kay Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with Kay. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. And by Northwestern Mutual, we help you live life differently. John Calipari, the Hall of Famer, trying to navigate his Wildcats through some choppy waters around the middle part of their conference schedule. And this is how Calipari will begin. We've mentioned Malik Monk, just under 22 points per game. De'Aaron Fox has had some physical ailments of late, had that ankle injury a couple of weeks ago against South Carolina, also missed the game due to illness. And meantime for Avery Johnson and Alabama, Ingram and Braxton Key, their highly touted underclassmen, doing some incredible things for Avery Johnson. Year 2 here, a team that overachieved last season with 18 wins and has them ready to take the big stage today against Kentucky. You see our officials, Mike Nance, Lee Cassell, and Rob Rourke. It will be Bam Adebayo stepping into the center circle, and Dante Hall for Alabama.
Spiro Ditas, what do we have here? The Wildcats scoop.
Better than 15,000. This place has been loud for about the last 60 minutes, anticipating Kentucky and the Crimson Tide. There's dribble drive and an offensive foul. That's the Aaron Fox beating him to the spot. Ingram a little bit late, and an early whistle against the Crimson Tide.
I don't think anybody can get by Fox if he puts his mind down to it. Great foot speed, great lateral motion. And right now, I just think it's all about good shot selection, being patient on the offense, something they've worked on diligently if you don't have a fast break.
Quick whistle at the other end of the floor. So a couple of early fouls against Alabama, and the defense, Bill, has been something that Calipari has really harped on with his team throughout this last couple of weeks where they've struggled.
Well, young people, and this is the key. Briscoe can really nail everybody, load them up, and they got an offensive clear out by Big Bam. Heads up play inside. All good footwork to attract the body.
So first on Bam Adebayo, a freshman out of Little Washington, North Carolina. We mentioned the extended practice that Calipari ran the Wildcats through. They went 3 hours on Wednesday, another extended workout on Thursday. It actually brought them to the arena here early today for a 7:15 a.m. morning workout, something that they rarely do during the season, just to try to get the blood flowing for this early tip as Alabama turns it over again. Key trying to work Bill underneath.
You sound like you work for the Union. And that's fun. You're out there playing, learning, getting better. But to get back on the defense, we know Briscoe can load people up, so I think Monk and Fox have to contain the bounce. Nice curl.
It's Monk a little bit short, and the rebound pulled by Dante Hall, the sophomore, an Alabama native. This is Dazon Ingram, red shirt freshman, showing the handle, taking flight, and then Gabriel with a block.
Hold on.
Monk ahead of the field.
I don't know any Monks that can get up like that, to be honest with you, even on a Sunday.
This kid's talent has been mesmerizing at times this season.
Well, that's the mistake you make that gives them an open floor opportunity.
This is Hall wanting to take Adebayo.
In a hurry to get that jump hook, but we talk about blocks or turnovers and the ability to turn it the other way. Numbers right away, a great read. The run out, look at Fox, shortens the court. Ooh, with a palm and finesse.
So already 3 turnovers. This is Monk on a 3. Again, a little bit short. And Olaniyan with the rebound for Alabama.
The early brush screen. That's one area in watching tape. They have not guarded the ball screen extremely well, Kentucky. Can elevate.
Ingram trying to clear out that forearm check by Monk. That has been a point of emphasis all season for Kentucky and for officials in college basketball this season.
You know, Monk had done that in, I think, in the LSU game, too. He thinks he can get away with the touch and release.
Corbin Collins will come into the game. Olaniyan will take an early seat. We're just under 2 minutes gone by in this first half.
That's fair. That's all because of matchups now. Nice perimeter. Everybody can, same size, defend one another. And North's one of those guys that can get free and get some good, nice step through.
Braxton Key, resourceful. Able to sidestep the defender and get Alabama on the board finally.
It didn't look pretty, but effective.
One of only 10 freshmen in the country who leads his team in both points and rebounds. What a season Braxton Key has had.
Nice kick out.
Fox. That's a 3 short. Offensive rebound out of Adebayo. Press 30.
That's where they're tough, on the kick out, on the rebound.
This is Briscoe.
He can drive.
Inside, what a dish to Fox.
You know Briscoe is going to put it on the deck. Relies on that physique and ability, but what an attraction as he dumps it off.
Briscoe has been terrific, but has been slumping of late. His numbers have taken a dip over their last half dozen games, but a fantastic find that time to locate Fox.
Pretty good job defensively. Fox just couldn't get there. But these kids have come up with a way to get in that lane. This kid, look at him turn, and how he attracts the body after the Euro. Draws 3. How about that? Maybe a 3 steps too, but he drew his little dump off.
So the whistle against the Aaron Fox is his first. And Avery Johnson already going deep into his bench. As Jimmy Taylor, the senior, and another Alabama kid checks into the game. This is Braxton Key. Now Adebayo defends on a switch, and then a wrestling match ensuing underneath between Taylor and Gabriel, and the officials will hit Gabriel with his first personal.
And Taylor can help them. A little jump hook, but this is the area you had mentioned. They're trying to clear up that cylinder. You can't intrude in other people's area. You just see here the eventual little load up. A little nickel dimer.
Already 14 fouls against the Wildcats. But Raph, you could already see the energy that just has not been there for them defensively early in this game.
I think it starts on the perimeter. Briscoe, automatic switch, ball screen. How do you handle it? A little hesitation dribble.
This is and he's turned back. What a play by Adebayo, and then Key gets it back. Takes play, lays it up and in. We're tied at 4.
Got to get back. What a play by Taylor. Not a point guard, but what a pretty dish by the big fella.
Better than 15,000 coming alive here in Tuscaloosa. That's Bam Adebayo off the back of the rim. And Kentucky now 2 of 5 from the field.
Open look.
Norris from deep. That's good.
Anytime you dribble drive and get some help, you can find somebody.
Norris, the junior, another Alabama product. Putting the Crimson Tide in front by 3. That pass a little bit off time as Adebayo took flight a bit prematurely, and it will be Kentucky basketball when we come back.
Well, you got to come strong. The rejection sets up a little pass, and getting those puppies organized. Norris delivers big time for Bama.
Good start for Avery Johnson at Alabama, and what a wild ride it's been. We mentioned 18 wins last year. This season, kind of stubbed their toe early on, struggled against some of the elite level teams that they faced, split their first 10 games, and then that great midseason stretch took 8 of 10, a couple of losses back-to-back, Arkansas and Auburn, and then the epic 4 overtime victory fairly earlier this week in Columbia. What a win, and really what a moment for this program. Just wondered what they have left emotionally after such a big win.
Classic. What a great game to watch as well. But he's got them excited here. Great recruiting class coming in as well to complement this. Little 2-3 zone gives the open look, and why not? Not delivers.
Second bucket for Malik Monk. Again, second among all freshmen in the country in scoring, just under 22 points per game. Behind only Markelle Fultz, a spectacular first-year man at Washington.
Collins now the lead guard in this group. He'll load it up from deep. Let's Ingram work without the basketball. You know, I love your voice, but I love Avery's. Classic, shrill.
One of the great voices and personalities in the country. That's Collins a little bit short on a 3. Here comes Briscoe. You know, Kentucky likes to push. They were so good, Bill, with the transition early. Then teams adjusted. And so Calipari's telling them to be a little bit patient when they have to.
If they don't have the fast break, this is what they want to do. 5-6 passes. This kid's great going to the rim. Usually you double on him, he finds.
This is Hawkins fresh into the game. Misses wildly. That last 3 by Kentucky now means that they've hit a 3 in 1,000 consecutive games. Only school in the country to accomplish that feat ever.
Vegas later today could hit 1,000. No, I'm going to roll them out there.
As they go back and forth, UNLV nipping at their heels in that category. So Norris misses on a 3. This is Briscoe for Kentucky. It's just under 6 minutes gone by. We're Coleman Coliseum, Tuscaloosa.
Nobody playing the ball screen, opens it up.
This is Gabriel in the corner. Walking a tightrope on the baseline, and an offensive foul, and that will be the second on Gabriel. I'll get the CBS Sports app for inside access to Kentucky, Alabama, or your favorite team. Get instant coverage of every moment from every angle. Download the CBS Sports app today.
Forcing the issue on that baseline. Gabriel will get a little rest now with the 2 fouls. Willis comes in, who's a terrific deep shooter, spot up. And what they do quite a bit is get a foot in the lane and then find the big fella Willis.
A little slight push as the officials will get Hawkins here, the senior Kentucky native. That'll be his first personal.
And he's not shooting the ball as well this year, I don't think. A little open look earlier. Humphries on the floor now. He can load up, little jump hook. Took care of his body, got himself ready. And maybe down the stretch, he's the guy to give a little deeper rotation up front.
Already the 6th team foul against the Wildcats. We'll see how that affects how they defend here over the final 13 and change.
Nice help by Hawkins.
This is Jimmy Taylor, and he is fouled.
That's his game, that little jump left hook. That an offensive rebound.
So we're having some issues now. It was Isaac Humphries coming over. Humphries partially a starter last season. Coming off the bench today for John Calipari, and free throws here for Jimmy Taylor, the senior out of Greensboro, Alabama. Mainstay for this Crimson Tide program. 123rd consecutive appearance this afternoon.
And he struggles from that free throw line.
Only a 50% shooter.
He has that little hesitation you have when they put that check on the table, you know. But it's almost like a sphere the way it turns on this release. Very unusual. It's like a screwball release. You notice that?
Kind of a line drive as well. So they leave a couple of points at the free throw line, and this game's still tied at 7. This is Humphries down low. Into the corner, Hawkins. Humphries from the baseline. Way strong. Derek Willis off the bench. Offensive rebound, fresh 30. What a pass. Hawkins underneath to Humphries.
How about the patience of the Blue? A terrific find at the end.
Avery Johnson Jr. has checked in on a game he had earlier this week. That is Braxton Key on a 3. A little bit short. Rebound Humphries.
This is where they want to use their head. Nice penetration. I think he walked. And they're going to get burned.
Monk. That's a 3.
That's a case where, unfortunate for Alabama, and he can burn you with that nylon. Monk.
Monk, whose shooting percentages had dipped over the last 4 games, has come out blazing. 8 points. And Kentucky has scored 8 in a row, as you see, over the last 3 and change.
Make that Hawkins on that one. Now you be the referee. Tell me. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I used to be a fair waltzer. And how about this? The ability to find at the end, and he is so good at stretching the D. What a stroke.
It's interesting because another point of emphasis this year, Bill, had been the traveling to try to call them a little bit tighter. So Kentucky has gotten away with a couple here in this first half. So here's Avery Johnson, son of the coach. Career high 23 points, misses on the front end, but then a quick whistle against, looks like Shannon Hale is whistled, and that will be his first. As John Calipari had a chance to visit with him yesterday, said he got a message from Tom Izzo earlier this week. Coach Izzo said, "Hey, Coach, how late are you going to be up tonight? I want to talk to you." And Calipari said he responded, "Coach, I haven't slept in 3 weeks."
He looks like he's been hanging around with us. I mean, he was exhausted. Yeah, that's all tape. In this program, the expectations are so big, and he wants to make sure that they're ready and prepared.
Well, he didn't get a good night's sleep last night. We told you earlier about the fire alarm issue that they had. It went off twice. Overnight. First time at 3:30, team had to be evacuated into the parking lot. A second time about 90 minutes later. This is Briscoe from 3, misses the rim, and so that is a shot clock violation and a Kentucky turnover. Early lead for the Wildcats on CBS. 5-point Kentucky lead with just under 12 minutes left before halftime. Avery Johnson, in his second season as a collegiate head coach, explains what he's trying to teach his players in planning for success, presented by Northwestern Mutual.
I try to prepare them in ways of being men of character, integrity, and honesty, knowing how to communicate well, and just as much as they're competitive on the court, be competitive in the classroom. So I kind of call that my C plan for life, and we try to help our players grow in all of those areas.
He talked about how gratifying it is to be out of college. He loved being in the NBA, but he said he actually said he goes to class. That sort of shocked me. I'd be afraid to find out what my players were doing in class. But just the more time with the players and obviously more practice time. And coming from the NBA, he said that he learned kids don't know spacing. We always hear guys talk about that. Getting the ball on time to the correct target and getting your work done early as you get a quick turnover here.
It's against Corbin Collins, the senior. Offensive foul.
Can't have empty trips against this team. Great defender, but he also understands the theatrics. Jersey guys have a way. I mean, it's a sag opportunity.
And all the little tricks, don't they? So Collins has to sit, the senior out of High Point, North Carolina. And Armand Davis, who had a season-high 19 points in that 4-overtime thriller against South Carolina, checks in.
Mulder on the floor now. You better stay at home. Great shooter, I think.
Mulder, number 11 for Kentucky. This is Humphreys on a little floater.
And this is a kid that could really help them coming down the stretch. Everybody in the program loves this kid.
So 10 straight points for Kentucky, and they now have opened up a 7-point lead.
And Davis on the floor. He thinks offense for Alabama. Unabashed at shooting, driving. Hey, right here.
Keys pass into the corner. This is Shannon Hale. A little fadeaway shot. Back to the rim, won't go, and then a whistle blowing on the rebound sequence underneath. As Dante Hall, the sophomore, continues to hit the glass. That'll be the second personal on Humphreys.
And that's where they are top, no question about it. But just getting yourself in the right spot. I just love Humphreys. Making yourself available, so important for a big guy. Look at that soft little feathery delivery. The big fella, Eric Lindsay, their SID, saying what a great kid. He's worked hard. I just love him to relax and play and perform.
1-1 here for Hall. Another kid who struggles at the free throw line, just 56% on the season. Well, James Corden hosts the biggest music event on the planet. Don't miss all your favorite stars at the Grammy Awards. Live tomorrow, 8/7 Central, only CBS. Spiro Ditas, Bill Raftery, our producer Mark Wolf, our director Bob Fishman, rest of our CBS crew here from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
First time they pull the string here with a little pressure. Look at this lob. That's where we're at best. Nice read. Willis. Pretty good looking. Bam, bam. Knocking it down.
So 7-point Kentucky lead. That last couple of free throws for Alabama. Their first points, Bill, in almost 5 minutes.
Much better defense, no question about it. They're not giving them a lot of second chances at the rim.
It's interesting. This was a Kentucky team that was expected to be very good defensively. They struggled as Johnson misses a little floater with his left hand. Today looking more like the defensive team they were expected to be at the start of the year.
Shooter.
Corner three won't go from Mulder.
He didn't miss one yesterday, right?
We did not. Here comes Ingram all the way to the cup.
And they need some easy opportunities. Those corner misses usually ignite a fast break.
First bucket for Ingram, his first points to cut it to 5.
Post rubs and a lock low, and Hall gets nailed. Some pretty basketball, though. You beat the press, you got that diagonal look, and just look at the hands, the attention to detail, and the strong finish. And Ingram, who does a nice job with his footwork, he's got a Euro move as well, getting to the rim, providing the lift at that off guard.
You like that little Euro step, don't you?
I do. We didn't have it in our day. We very seldom got out of our own neighborhood.
First personal on Dante Hall. It's the 4th against Alabama.
You were with the Nets when Cal was coaching, right?
No, he was a little bit before my time. There's Adebayo again, able to finish. Pretty recipient.
Nice little feed, too.
Wenyon Gabriel, the big lanky big man, has come in for Kentucky, wears number 32. That's a corner three from Avery Johnson, short. And then a battle for the loose ball. This will be on Shannon Hale. That'll be the second on the senior.
Right here, just a nice little hesitation dribble, sets it up, freezes the D. A little slip to the goal. What a powerful kid. Down on that block area.
So 7-point game. And Avery Johnson continues to work his guys in and out. This is the Aaron Fox. Out of Briscoe on the wing as we come up on 9 minutes to play. Kentucky has hit 5 of its last 6 shots. This is Briscoe taking on the defender Davis and banking it in high off glass.
Well, he gets so much out of his ability. Some power, also finesse with the dribble.
Briscoe had a triple-double earlier this season, 6 days after De'Aaron Fox had posted one.
Well, that seldom happens with two guys getting the same team within the course of the year.
Only the second and third triple-doubles, in fact, in the history of the program.
This
is Davis hanging midair. What a play, able to finish. 7-point game.
When you need points, this kid thinks offense. Ooh, highly recruited kid as well.
Played last season at the College of Southern Idaho, one of the top JUCO players in the country, as Adebayo is called for a travel.
Armin's one of those kids that can use the dribble or step out and make that three. You just see a little, nobody really turns him, nobody helps out. No resistance at the rim as well.
As you said, he is a kid who thinks score first. 19 points in the win over South Carolina, averages just over 6 per game. And turnovers, Bill, have been an issue for Kentucky. They've actually exceeded their season average in turnovers each of the last 8 games. What a defensive play by Monk. Davis able to follow it up. Shot clock did not reset. It's at 7. Here comes Ingram, taking on Fox and gets the friendly bounce.
He loves that lane. And you're right. I think Kentucky's defense has been much better. Even that, pretty good resistance.
Ingram cuts it to 5 as we hit the 8-minute mark before halftime. This is Mulder. Misses everything.
Force a shooter to put it on the deck. Good things can happen.
Davis from deep. This place ready to explode. Monk thought about it.
Nice give back.
Fox wide open.
That's the one area he's got to work on. You know he can be electrifying on the blue line.
Fox entered the day just 9 for 44 from 3 on the season. This is Olani on, wanting to take Gabriel. Trying to create space. Gabriel able to hold his ground. And then Adebayo tracks it down for Kentucky.
Olani is one of those rebounding types of kids. That's not going to give you a whole lot on the offensive end.
This is a Kentucky team 3rd in the country in scoring, better than 90 points per game. First among the Power 5 conferences. Gabriel. This is a little chippy, and then last touch by Kentucky as we'll get a timeout. Just under 7 minutes left here at Tuscaloosa. Wildcats by 5. Some of the early highlights. 5-point lead for Kentucky. Days-on Ingram, the redshirt freshman, showing some of his offensive skills, and Malik Monk spearheading that 8-0 run for Kentucky as they open up the early lead. Game summary, the 6:55 mark of this first half, 5-point lead, and you see the shooting struggles for Alabama. As we welcome you back courtside here in Tuscaloosa, Spiro Thetis and Bill Raftery. Bill, some struggles offensively for Alabama and Kentucky, working through their defensive issues as well.
I noticed the assist for Kentucky, but I think their defense has been excellent. Problem with Alabama is where they're going to get some scoring. They haven't been able to get in the lane. They haven't established a low post presence. So those are some of the dilemmas when you play Kentucky. I like the attitude of Kentucky. They look like they're involved. They're interested in guarding. They're protecting the basket as well as they can. And this guy gets it done, no question about it.
It is a little toasty in here as Calipari working up a nice little lather. Has really had to coach his team through some issues that they're having. And a lot of people asking, Bill, just how good is this Kentucky team?
I've seen them real good, and then I've seen them struggle the last couple of games. So for LSU, most of that game, that was a Kentucky team you come to expect. There's a little double. Can you find?
Wow. High pass thrown by Jimmy Taylor. So that's another Alabama turnover.
Nobody dove, and nobody dove the lane. No kick out. He's got to be patient in that low box area. Pretty good coverage, and that's after a timeout. You've got to be very alert against these well-coached teams. A little wrinkle when they get together.
See the little drought for Kentucky. No points in just under 3 minutes here. And still maintaining a 5-point lead. Kentucky 19-5 as Briscoe trying to go glass again. Hit that same shot a couple of minutes ago. But Alabama's interior defense able to hold.
They lifted everybody. Plenty of room at the rim for Briscoe.
This is Norris. Had some big plays late in that 4 overtime victory in Columbia. 6 straight for the Crimson Tide. Low pass underneath to Adebayo.
You can't let that happen. You've got to get back and get a body on your guy. And that time, delinquent Taylor. And of course, the ability to put it on the deck and find. They are awesome when it comes to that rim area.
Hard to believe Adebayo is only a freshman. What a physique on that kid, and what a player he's turned out to be underneath in his first season for Calipari.
A lot's been asked of him, too. He's got a guard, rebound, certainly blocked some shots.
This is key. Shot clock down to 5. A little bit out of control, and Alabama a little bit careless with the basketball here in the first half.
Of course, you'd be careless with Adebayo around the rim, and this kid really gets down. You can just see totally given up on the protection of the rim. Just faulty, the early offense, no recognition, not identifying guys, and boy, you are going to pay dearly against Kentucky.
Adebayo will sit, and now Isaac Humphries back onto the floor, wearing number 15 for Kentucky. Also, Derek Willis comes into the game as well.
A little 2-3 again, flash the foul line, turn and look. Monk.
That was a three-point attempt, rebound cleared by Taylor. This is Corbin Collins back on for Alabama. Norris, little head fake. Contact, no call. Good defense by Humphries, and then last touch by Alabama as we move on to the 5-minute mark before halftime. I'll see why America's buzzing about Stephen Colbert, the smart choice. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, all new this week, only CBS.
A little 2-2-1. Tell you, Kentucky has really done a nice job on penetration, helping their partners out. Good job closing.
What a road test this is for one of the youngest teams in the country in Kentucky.
Every place they go, though, they're the X. Nice entry.
Adebayo trying to clear some space, and then the rebound pulled by Taylor. Clemson Tide have it, down 5. As you just joined us, they are shooting 7 for 19, just 36% clip. This is Olaniyan.
He likes to bounce himself. Not a great face-up shooter.
That'll be on Malik Monk. That's his second, and now Alabama into the double bonus, so 2 shots for Bola Olaniyan, the senior, born in Nigeria. Graduate transfer, came over from Southern Illinois, joined the team in August. One of the top offensive rebounders, Bill, in the SEC, 8th overall. And he is a 63% free throw shooter.
Almost gets 3 a game on that glass. He chases.
Oof. And they continue to struggle now, 2 for 6 at the free throw line.
He's around 63%, not too bad, generally speaking.
Fresh 30. This is Collins holding against Hawkins.
Yeah, double high, but Olaniyan's the pop guy. He's not going to be able to shoot it.
Paul.
Ooh, nice hand.
Deflected underneath when Alabama catches a break. Olaniyan, the recipient. It was deflected by Willis. 3-point game.
And Hall did the right thing, and Willis in the right spot, too.
Kentucky has missed 6 of their last 7 shots. Briscoe. Briscoe fearless, attacking that defense. He'll shoot a couple of free throws. Foul charge to Dante Hall. Kentucky, Alabama in an SEC battle on CBS. Well, John Calipari and his staff keeping tabs on the foul situation. A couple of his starters, Monk and Gabriel, with 2, with still 3:54 left in this first half.
Yeah, guys like to protect players. You know, it's one of those deals. Don't get the third. Plus, I think he wants to extend his bench a little bit, too. Get some guys some opportunity to step up. But the way Monk plays, the Kentucky fans have a religious experience with this Monk every time they watch him. He is extraordinary. So many good things he can do on the basketball floor.
This is Isaiah Briscoe at the free throw line. Sophomore out of Newark, New Jersey. 71% free throw shooter. CBS Sports Network celebrates Black History Month with a story about 14 college football players who took a stand against injustice. The Black 14, Wyoming, 1969 airs tonight, 10:30 Eastern on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports.
Must be the rims here. What do you think? Goodness.
Both teams leaving a bunch of points at the free throw line. And Kentucky's lead still only at 3. This is Braxton Key. And then a whistle blown underneath. It's against Kentucky. Wildcats thought it was against Jimmy Taylor.
He did shove
flying in.
There's Avery Johnson with a nice little clear out for Key that time, and he really had Briscoe on a pretty good angle. I think one more bounce, he could have had a layup.
Foul charge to Mulder. That's his first.
Laniana, you got to be ready.
Mentioned how well Avery Johnson has fit in with his personality. It's been such a perfect fit for him, that infectious optimism. Actually said he's built a nice little bond, Bill, with Nick Saban here in Tuscaloosa. And says they talk about everything except X's and O's.
He said they talk about coaching and actually coaching your assistants, which is something I failed to do. Obviously, they coached me. Goodness, that free throw shooting. You don't want them picking sides.
Alabama is 2 of 8 at the free throw line. Kentucky has missed its only 2 attempts. This is Briscoe into the corner. Hawkins hanging baseline, able to put it down.
Look at this lineup here, a little patchwork, and Avery takes the timeout. Getting some minutes. Hawkins can play some solid basketball, no question about it.
Kentucky had missed 6 of its previous 7 shots before that play from Hawkins. Well, the battle lines have been drawn even amongst the young fans here in Tuscaloosa. Big battle in the SEC, and right now Kentucky in front by 5. And this is the pace, Bill. It's been ugly to watch at times, but this is the kind of pace that Alabama wants. Low scoring.
Low points, no question about it. Be solid. Force Kentucky to use some time. Don't get them runouts. And see if they can get good shots and follow-ups. They haven't been able to do that. It's a nice little kick.
Here comes Johnson. Unable to hit the floater. Johnson still looking for his first points after that career-high 23-point performance against South Carolina Tuesday.
Dribble drive, John Calipari.
Hawkins takes a whack.
Boy, look at him, he is hurt.
Looks like he's okay.
So
the senior putting the team on his back with the offense struggling the last couple of minutes.
You got to stay honest on the shooters, and Hawkins been around a little bit. Nice aggressive move. Takes the hit with a chance for 2. I think he's hurt his hand, too, the way he's grimacing.
Foul charge to Braxton Key was his first. So this is Hawkins, one of the better free throw shooters for Kentucky, 88% on the season. Told you about Kentucky's offensive prowess, over 90 points per game, 3rd highest in the country, tops among the Power 5 teams. But Alabama, a much better defensive team than they were last year. We know about their rebounding improvement. And they're 12-0 this season, Bill, when holding opponents to 62 points or less. So this, again, the kind of pace that they want.
Close to the vest, no question, but you got to seal the deal there on that rebound. Fox hasn't been able to turn the corner. They've been jumping on his left a little bit. He can go right. There he is. That's his way to go.
This is Fox, a little bit short. Another offensive rebound. And then Adebayo lost it on his way up. Knocked out of bounds by Alabama with 27 to shoot.
And a tough to size on the floor. Ingram was the guy checking that Adebayo out. That's very tough responsibility.
Late substitution. Armand Davis, the junior, will come back in for Avery Johnson. And Riley Norris will sit.
You got an attack mode on the floor now with Davis.
Kentucky shooting 42% from the field. Where do they turn for offense here as we come up on the final 2 minutes? This is Briscoe probing the defense.
Well, they have scouted. They're right up on Mulder. He's not getting any clean looks.
Fox going glass, can't finish. Rebound Ingram.
Great challenge at the rim. Taylor.
Right off the fingertips of Key. And another Alabama turnover, their 7th. Reminder to keep it here. AT&T at the half. Greg Clark and Seth will have all the scores and highlights and how they will affect the selection committee's top 16 teams. Plus, Jim Nantz will have the very latest from the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am out on the West Coast. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
A little taste of heaven out there.
There comes Briscoe trying to go baseline with a left-handed reverse. Tough play. And Kentucky's offense continues to look ragged.
And Taylor really doing a nice job defensively. Nice play. What a tip.
Hawkins the steal.
Mulder back.
Inside, the little hesitation and an easy deuce. Boy, how big has Hawkins been for them off the bench?
He's been terrific. Hawkins defensively. What a tip to himself.
Hawkins has scored their last 6 points with 70 seconds left before halftime.
Boy, great individual defense, containing and staying home.
Johnson. So Avery Johnson Jr. now all of his first 3.
I think they got Taylor there as they load up in the low post area. Just this beautiful tip, then the run out. And Mulder goes to the three-point line, too. So you have some options. A nice little slide by, but you stay at home. Everybody has individual responsibility. Dominique prevailing. Big time at the rim.
Back with you in Tuscaloosa. You certainly wondered what Alabama had left in the tank emotionally after that 4 overtime win earlier this week. And as good as they've been defensively, the offense has been a different story. Shannon Hale, meantime, picking up his 3rd personal before John Calipari called that last 30-second timeout.
You've got to be ready for Kentucky. Come on. Don't you think? I mean, emotionally, I just think it's great defense right now by Kentucky that's limited them at the other end. Everybody doing a great job in their individual handling. And just that deflection, staying at home by Hawkins, just solid.
This is Bam Adebayo at the free throw line. A freshman, grew up in a little town in North Carolina, about 20 miles from Greenville. Averaging just under 13 points per game and just under 7 rebounds. And what's been a stellar freshman season, that is Ingram. Able to absorb contacts, or 7 straight points for Kentucky if you've just joined us. And this is not a team, Raph, that you want to fall behind against, certainly not by double digits.
That great job. Ingram has a ability to fake the handoff on that dribble exchange to an empty side. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to finish, but he gets a chance for 2.
Foul charge to De'Aaron Fox, his 2nd. And now Ingram, a 64% free throw shooter, at the line for 2.
Boy, they are really hurting themselves. Clock is stopped. You get a chance to put some back in. And Willis now one of those guys that can light it up and stretch you a little if you dribble drive.
Alabama is 2 of 10 at the line.
Did you notice the entourage Cal had yesterday at the shoot? It's amazing.
He does have quite the crew, doesn't he?
He's a magnet.
His practices are something to see. So organized and so vocal. And a lot to talk about for Kentucky after that rough little 1-3 stretch. You take out that come from behind win against Georgia, that could have very well been a 4-game losing streak, almost unheard of.
A good Georgia team, too. That was a fun game to watch. Once again, Briscoe turns the corner. It's amazing because you know he's not going to take that jump shot unless forced to. But he's got that great strength going either way. And once he turns, it's like a running back. Gets squared up, and Ingram with the giveaway. Pretty strong move.
Briscoe's got those big, strong, broad shoulders. And the former high school star at Roselle Catholic in Central New Jersey at the free throw line for 2. Norris will come back on, 34.2 to play before halftime. Avery Johnson looking for some more shooters.
Gives him another threat, too. Spiro, a guy who can make a shot for them. They are really struggling on that end of the floor.
Briscoe is 0 of 3 at the free throw line.
I'd play for 1. Be comfortable. Don't give the Big Blue another opportunity to go the other way. Cal still got the lungs over there, you notice? String out and double.
7 to shoot. This is Collins taking Adebayo, and he sends him back.
Too soon.
4 seconds. This is Mulder, and the call here, a traveling violation.
Good call. I thought they were going to call a charge on the open floor. They're very fortunate to get another opportunity here. You go too soon, you give Kentucky an opportunity here and not giving up on the play. Look at the long arm of the law prevailing big time. I think he's been solid on that defensive end.
Averages more than a block and a half per game. 3 seconds. This is Davis on the run. Good if it goes.
Ooh, that have brought the house down and got them a little excited.
So Alabama held to without a field goal for the last 4:08 of that first half. End of the first 20, 9-point Kentucky lead. We will send you to Greg Gumbel in New York. CBS Sports college basketball coverage is sponsored by Sonic. This is how you Sonic. Infinity, empower the drive. And by AT&T. Halftime stats presented by Capital One. You see the shooting struggles. Alabama goes the final 4:08 of the first half without a point. Missed 8 of their last 10 shots. As we welcome you back courtside here in Tuscaloosa alongside Bill Raftery. I'm Spiro Ditas. John Calipari talked about wanting improved defensive play, and we've seen that in the first half.
They've been solid. Everybody's playing their own guys solidly, leading them to the big. Adebayo looming large. 2 blocks, but he's had so many changes and help from others. The runouts have been magnificent, and oh my goodness, I still have those threads, by the way. And the ability to get into the lane negated by bigs, and look at the run out. Just no defense whatsoever. But boy, is that the savior at the rim. The ability to negate and go the other way. And right now, Alabama is really struggling on offense. I think they just got to do some damage inside. Some of the games that Kentucky has struggled, inside post-up, catches, turn, see if they can do that, and maybe make a couple of free throws. That wouldn't hurt the cause either. And get back as they start out with a 2-3 zone now.
Do you still really own that 3-piece suit?
I do. I do.
Thought it was fantastic.
Nearly new shop.
Just underway, second half here in Tuscaloosa. Spiro Ditas, Bill Raftery, rest of our CBS crew. With a big one in the SEC between Alabama and 15th ranked Kentucky. Briscoe going glass.
Well, he is such a tough kid in that lane. That's his game. They're using the left with the kiss.
So Isaiah Briscoe, his second field goal. 4 points to go along with 5 rebounds as he starts to fill up the stat sheet.
Wow. I think he's got to do some damage on his own when he turns that corner, but just a good understanding of post. Nice little maneuver here with the little kiss. A really good job here. And they lifted it now that I look at it again. A couple of steps in the early afternoon.
So an 11-point lead as Fox gives to Malik Monk. Monk's second leading scorer among freshmen in the country. Leads the SEC overall at just under 22 per game. This is Briscoe, guarded by Ingram. And that time they do call it. Same exact play. Earlier we saw a moment ago. That's the 7th Kentucky turnover.
In Jersey, that's just waltzing. It's not an actual travel. The other thing that I think Alabama can run, we saw them with the ball screen. Kentucky at times doesn't do a good job, but you've got to go to the rim, see if you can get some contact, body search a little bit.
Alabama 14-9, 7-4 in conference play. This is Norris going right through the teeth of the defense. 7 for Norris.
Go down with a fight. Nice pass, and look at the run, and nobody at home in the lane. Just tardy. Hall with a Hall pass. Goodness, got to see the ball.
Adebayo now 70 dunks on the season. What a force he's been. The Calipari era record at Kentucky set by Anthony Davis, 92 dunks a couple of years back.
Yeah, what a great player he was and became, huh?
This is Ingram on the baseline. Errant pass and another Alabama turnover, unable to locate Key. And, Bill, those two freshmen have struggled, Ingram and Key, so far today.
And you're right, being in the right location. But here, Norris, who's known as a three-point shooter, they're going to go out and attack him, the ability to put it on the deck. But you mentioned dunks. A plethora. And this guy, the recipient of some really good looks and some absentee ownership in the lane.
So 10 turnovers committed by Alabama. Armand Davis, wearing 22, has checked in for the Crimson Tide. That is Malik Monk. That silky smooth stroke, he's got 10.
That is just a simple pin down, curl, and the elevation necessary.
Largest lead of the game as Key misses badly. Just haven't seen much from him till this point. And 2 of 5 from the field has been awfully quiet. This is Wenyen Gabriel. A little bit outside of his range from the corner, and a whistle blown here. It's on Alabama. Armand Davis.
There's just, look at that, the elevation at the end of this. You only go up as high as necessary. Look at this. I mean, pogo sticks. Terrific use of the screen. Getting yourself a line squared up and knocking it down.
Highest points per game average by a player at Kentucky under John Calipari, or all-time under Calipari, 21.2. That was DeJuan Wagner back at Memphis as Adebayo loses it on his way up. And the officials say Kentucky ball.
Where were the rebounders? Adebayo just went in there. Nobody contested. And that's the strength of Alabama. Let's watch him carte blanche here. Runs in between 3 guys. Able to elevate. Stripped.
Talked about the improved rebounding, drastic improvement for Alabama last year.
Look at that pass.
To this. Briscoe underneath, contact, no call. Good defense inside. And the loose ball tracked down by Collins. Here comes Key, sidesteps the defender, and then Gabriel turns him back.
Oh my goodness, what a great defensive maneuver. They couldn't clean it up.
First 2 points for Jimmy Taylor. Right place at the right time, and a big break for the Crimson Tide, now down 11. Adebayo from the outside.
Nice job, you got to clean it up. Key didn't come down with it. Briscoe got a piece.
And then Gabriel able to get it out. Fresh 30 as Fox handles. Gets the screen, little leaner, won't go.
Adebayo the other way, it's got it.
Rebounding foul against Kentucky's big man. And Alabama will get it back with 16:39 to play.
Game of reaction. You know, everybody back. Gabriel, just the initial pass on number 3 Adebayo, but then the follow. Just that's the kind of, they got to make this a ratty game. Let's become a little more aggressive. Fight for situations like this. Can't come up empty. You always talk about 50-50 balls. You got to get your percentage of those.
How impressed have you been with Kentucky's defense?
Excellent. I think he got his message across. You mentioned the arduous practice. Part of realigning your thinking. A little double. Nobody cuts.
Taylor picks up his dribble and then turns it over. Briscoe to steal. Has Monk. Off balance on the pass was Briscoe, and then contact. So it looks like Kentucky will salvage a couple of free throws. It's on Jimmy Taylor.
This is all set up by Briscoe, turning his body on the catch. And just right there, what a great play by Briscoe. And now the unselfish look, a little too deep. That's one of those unfair calls, I think. Taylor there, trying to resist. I love the dialogue over there. Briscoe, I think the leader of this team, no question about it. That's why John can lean on him, be vociferous in his suggestions.
Well, Cal has talked about what a great group of kids this is, how much he has enjoyed coaching this particular team.
Did you talk to him the last 2 weeks, or was that?
He looked tired, but he's certainly grown such a strong bond with some of these current players as they look for their 20th win of the season. It'll be the 23rd straight year that Calipari gets to 20 wins. That's the longest active streak amongst current coaches.
Incredible run he's had. Another turnover here in the making.
Armand Davis that time turns it over. This is Monk in the open floor. Stops on a dive and hits.
He's an old-time player, this kid. Pull up. Jerry West, I hope you're looking. The ability to get those puppies organized, all off turnovers. You can't cough it up against this team. They got confidence. They're back playing well again.
Well, CBS aired, excuse me, the March Madness bracket preview show earlier today. Top 16 seeds revealed. First time that's ever been done early. Villanova, the defending champs, the #1 overall seed. And here are the top 16. Billy, any big surprises for you?
It's interesting when you look at it. Of course, Duke beat Carolina the other day. That's one of those deals. But it's all speculation. What I find the incredible, look at the East as we chat away. Louisville spent a couple of kids, lost a game. They are really a talent. We see Kentucky getting back. UCLA beats Oregon the other day, and conversely, the 2 seed in the West. So I've seen so many teams look good for a couple of weeks and then disappoint. Arizona comes to mind. They went up to Oregon and got their wheels taken off, and yet we saw them against UCLA early in the year, and they were just great defensively. So I think it's when you catch the team, how they're playing at that time. So whoever just keeps plugging away gets hot come late, whether it's their conference tournament or in the NCAA. A lot of teams are going to have the opportunity to win it.
Got a big one out on the West Coast later tonight. Top 25 Gonzaga trying to stay perfect against St. Mary's. That's Dante Hall a little bit short. Oladipo on the offensive rebound. This is Davis from deep. And then the foul charge to Alabama. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball continues after this and a word from your local station. Majestic setting, current leaderboard. You see Jason Day and Jordan Spieth 10 under. You have Jace with Derek Fathauer in front.
Well, the real player in the Spieth family is his brother, the real athlete. Stephen had 21 points.
That's right.
The other night, I saw him play Providence a couple of years ago. What a talent. They beat Providence early in the season. Talented guy. And I guess they have some little one-on-ones in the backyard. I don't think he can beat his brother in golf. Just a guess.
Keeping tabs on the Spieth family. We'll see how the elder brother does later today. Here comes Fox going to the rim. NFL. De'Aaron Fox, who's been quiet offensively, gets his first points since the 17-14 minute mark of the first half.
And the defense gives ground, so he does the right thing, finishes it. This kid can be electrifying. Also, one thing, wire to wire, I don't know many quicker with the dribble than this kid. He's just amazing. And think of it, he had a bad ankle, and then he was sick. Went to the Florida game without practicing. So, once he gets, I think, back onto his A game, he'll be a big-time contributor.
We know a horse named Fox Rules came in second today at Aqueduct. Maybe an omen, Bill, for the second half.
Well, if we get a dunk, we'll announce the winner.
Rap the horse who beat him.
Send it in.
Send it in.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's a true story. Avery Johnson struggled. Oladipo on another offensive rebound where they badly needed that.
That's what they've got to do, though. That's their game, his game. Much better D. Ingram containing. Quick-footed Fox.
See the second chance points as the Crimson Tide just try to stay within striking distance.
Going under on Hawkins and going under on Fox. No, not that time. Go over.
Fox absorbing some contact. Nice defense underneath, and the officials say last touch by Fox.
Well, we were amazed watching tape of this team pursuing the offensive glass. And just each guy attacks. I mean, Oladipo is one of those guys. That's his game. And if you shoot it soft enough, they can go chase it. Some of the shots have been a little errant and long.
See Willis come on for Wenyen Gabriel. Some of the players for Alabama, Bill, who were very good the other night, just have not been there today. We mentioned Ingram and Braxton Key struggling. Key hit the first 4 points of the game, hasn't scored since.
They've taken the challenge.
And Avery Johnson, who had the 23-point game, has yet to score. Whistle blown here on the perimeter against Derek Willis. That's his first.
Norris is a guy who can shoot the ball, so they're forcing him to put him on the deck. Take away his main threat. Fox with a little smile for the coach.
Hall will sit, replaced by Jimmy Taylor. And you saw Briscoe come on for John Calipari and De'Aaron Fox.
He's going back in. A little smile for the coach.
Here comes Key. Offensive rebound. That's Oladipo on again. Couldn't finish.
Nice run and nobody back.
Adebayo expressing himself.
Send it in. Not only at Aqueduct, but in Alabama. But what a look, and no bigs back.
14 points for the freshman. And a whistle blown underneath us against Kentucky.
Everybody has to run. Briscoe does so many good things for his team. His ability to have vision, find the big fella, and how about this? Jerome is not here, but send it in.
Like old times, 14 points, 6 rebounds. Dominique Hawkins has to sit, picks up his 4th.
Yeah, he has been the MVP, I think, the way he played that first half.
But where does Alabama turn to for offense here? Desperate.
Ingram does post up. We'll see if they can either find somebody or get some dive to the rim.
Here comes the freshman Key. That's a blocking foul.
They team get after Alabama. They don't have one or two guys that are going to get a lot of points. You know, only a couple of guys in double figures. They're one of those teams that massages you around the horn. Ingram being one of them and Key the other. So they need everybody to step up.
Foul charge to Bam Adebayo. That's his 3rd. So he has to sit here. Isaac Humphries, 15, comes back on for Kentucky. This is Corbin Collins. And Kentucky having some foul issues right now.
And right away, without Adebayo in there, you go to that rim. You don't have the deterrent standing in the lane. And you're right, they pile up quickly. But don't forget, you got to make free throws once you get to the line. That's been part of the problem.
15 foul against Kentucky with still 13 and change remaining. Collins. Excellent defense by Fox.
And they all stay at home, too, if you can individually contain.
This is Key. Pretty spin move and finish with his left hand.
Ooh, a little lingerie on the deck. Humphries left in abeyance.
So Braxton Key, his first point since the early couple of minutes. All the way back to the 16-20 mark of the first half.
Nice job that time by Key, tagging his guy. And Monk uses screens, be an automatic switch now.
Fox steps. Traveling violation.
We talked about Key, one of the guys that can get double figures, but this is just excellent footwork on the spin back and just solid play. Humphries in awe of that drop step. All of a sudden, calling for some help. How about that drop step and understanding a little more of this? They got to get themselves back in the game. A little urgency needed.
Putting them in the old spin cycle. What footwork by Key. And keep in mind, Kentucky had that big lead over LSU Tuesday and then kind of took their foot off the pedal.
And a good turn, you're right. Played a great game up until the last 5 or 6 minutes.
16-point game here with still plenty of time left. 12 and change.
Looks like they're just driving, figuring foul problems. Not a good kick.
Monk with the theft. Norris getting back, and then a little hip check on Norris.
A good giveaway, too, before he shot the ball.
Alabama just so careless with it. Those turnovers now starting to pile up. 13 for Avery Johnson's team.
Most teams, when you get in the lane, everybody turns their head. Kentucky's doing a great job at staying at home, recognize the ability to kick out. A little frustrating for Avery Johnson and his guys.
Alabama has led today for only 32 seconds. It's been all Kentucky. Briscoe probing. And a call here against the Wildcats.
A foul or just out of bounds?
Stepped out of bounds, you're right.
He does that a lot, Briscoe. I've had game. He had 3 one game I was at. Got to know where the lines are.
See the turnovers, 23 between these two teams. Bill, normally you'd think this would be the kind of pace and score that Alabama would want, but Kentucky kind of beating them at their own game. Norris absorbing contact.
And Avery's done a really nice job of just getting his team to drive the ball. Manufacture post-ups with the dribble drive.
Norris, the junior, out of Albertville, Alabama. Monk.
How did he get that off so quick? With elevation. Oh, not a good look here.
Monk the steal.
Watch the numbers.
3 on 1.
Good night.
Mulder with the finish. 16-point Kentucky lead. That is Ingram.
Here they come again. The run out, nobody back.
Mulder barely able to track it down. They'll reset as we hit the 11-minute mark of the second half.
Boy, what a tough turnover. Norris expecting somebody to look at him. Just bring it up yourself.
from deep, whistle blown. A call here against the Wildcats. And we'll get a timeout. Mulder whistle.
How about this, huh? They've got some people who can do some damage around the rim. All starts with a turnover. High percentage. Send it in. It's Mulder on the rise.
CBS Sports college basketball coverage is sponsored by Zaxby's. Indescribably good. Ram Trucks, America's longest lasting pickups. And by Bud Light, make the right call, drink responsibly.
Spiro, this is not all about dunks, although that's what we're going to show you. It's all about work habits, running the floor, excellent passing, and then the athleticism to top it off, which is extraordinary. He brings it every game. I mean, this is an impressive individual, and he's back there to guard the rim, to protect the dribble drives, and they're going to need him now. The foul problems with him are a concern because all of a sudden Alabama, the ability to get in the lane with the bounce has been productive. So I would continue to do that.
He was 1 year old when he flipped over a coffee table in the living room while watching the Flintstones, and so his mother Marilyn gave him the nickname, and I'd say it's a pretty apt moniker for him.
How about research? I just did the same thing the other night. Nobody called me Bam. A little 2-3 out of the timeout to take away the dribble drive. So Cal noticed it.
And the zone defense, something that Cal has not really liked to do over the years, has been effective for him the last couple of games.
And they make him use a lot of clock here as well, down to 4.
This is
bails him out.
So tough break for Kentucky. The zone really the reason they were able to come back 14 down and beat Georgia in overtime.
Georgia plays their zone too. Mate, one of the great players, I think, in this conference. How about that? A little inadvertent kind of swipe and just get smaller shoes. That's all I can tell you.
It's a big call because it puts Alabama in the bonus. So 1-1 here for Braxton Key. A 63% free throw shooter.
And almost might get him going a little bit as well. You're asking a lot of a young guy at this high-level game, but that's what it's all about. You came to the SEC here.
So Olaniyan come back in. Collins takes a seat. But Alabama desperately needs these points here. Officials wiping a wet spot, looks like, on the ball. 10:24 to play in the second half. And you can hear the groans from some of these home fans. Look at Fox.
Look at that.
The tip by Gabriel. Left-handed to make it an 18-point game.
That can't happen. I mean, you're forced to miss, and then you've got to get it.
First 2 points for Gabriel, who had a career-high 23 earlier this week at home against LSU.
Olaniyan near the rim, too. Smaller defender in Monk. See if he can do some damage on the offensive glass.
This is Hall trying to go up and under. What a play! They'll count it.
How about that off-balance delivery? He had the right idea to step through. Nice little strong move. And how about that? Nice little underhand release. A favorable bounce as well.
So the little prayer answered for Dante Hall. And that's the 4th foul on Adebayo. So he has to sit now. Humphrey summoned by John Calipari at the 9:53 mark of the second half.
Yeah, this is a danger time, I think, right now. You know you can go at the rim now without anybody to negate. Goodness.
But does Alabama have enough offense? Hall off the offensive rebound, misses again, but Humphreys is the culprit.
That might be number 3, if I'm not mistaken, on him as well.
It is indeed his 3rd, so now Calipari has to keep tabs on some of his bigs as those fouls start to pile up.
And this is a great offensive rebounding team, Alabama. They just get after it. Around in the mid-20s in terms of rebound margin.
Alabama now 3 of 14 at the line. Monday on CBS, see what everybody's laughing about. Don't miss a new episode of TV's #1 new comedy, Kevin Can Wait. Monday at 8/7 Central, only CBS.
They're trying to get excited in this building. Oh my goodness. 3rd straight sellout, and got to show them something. Keep these fans coming out. A little 2-3 zone to match.
Well, they're not only missing these free throws, they are missing badly.
Briscoe's the guy if he gets into the lane to dribble drive.
This is Fox. Well short. Rebound cleared by Olaniyan. But this is where Alabama is having their issues. 35% shooting. Key on a three.
Oh, goodness. That's impossible, that shot. How about that?
Speaking of prayers answered, we'll see if that can't jumpstart Alabama.
They got people excited at 12.
Monk on a deep three.
Not the kind of shot you need, it really. John Calipari's outstretched arm saying, why? Good look.
Norris from deep.
Well, that would have been big, and Riley Norris knew, but this is amazing. Watch this baby. Goodness. I don't get the kind of kiss when I leave home. Inadvertent as it is. But once in a while, it might get you going a little bit. I don't think you could do that for 1 out of 100. Do you?
No. Just an impossible angle in the corner. And Bill, you look up, it's only a 13-point game. With just under 9 minutes left.
I like Briscoe at the foul line. You got little Gabriel in there now, but he's outside running the show.
Shot clock at 13. A reset with Briscoe, defended by Collins. Into the corner, Fox. Briscoe from deep. Here comes Collins. Norris.
Nice rebound.
Unable to hit, and then last touch by Alabama. Another missed opportunity for the Crimson Tide.
Now, the one thing about Kentucky, they get back in transition. That caused the miss. Making run, just this run by here causes the miss. A nice little hustle by all. And unfortunately, couldn't finish the deal. Olaniyan always in the mix on the offensive glass.
Their top 2 scorers, the 2 freshmen, Ingram, the redshirt freshman, and Braxton Key, have both struggled. But they just don't have enough after those 2 to absorb that kind of day.
No, they don't.
Now they're down 13.
They need support, no question about it. I like them driving at the other end. That's been helpful, particularly without the major deterrent inside.
Monk the dump off to Humphreys. They reset out to Fox.
Yeah, they're having trouble. That's what they go to.
Briscoe unable to hit with his left hand, and Humphreys battling for it.
Outworked. The crowd doesn't like it, but they were just outworked on that offensive glass.
Foul charge to Ingram is his 3rd. As Humphreys working hard on that offensive glass. 13-point game on CBS. Pivotal SEC battle here at Tuscaloosa, Kentucky. In that 3-way tie for first atop the SEC standings right now, up 13 as we take a look at our game summary with just under 8 minutes to play. Billy in the second half.
I think the fast break points, a lot of them off of those turnovers, and Cal's getting a lot of bench opportunities now with his foul difficulties. By the way, I'm told yesterday was Cal's birthday.
Yes, it was.
He's catching up to me. A couple more years.
Just turned 58.
Amazing career this guy's had. At Pittsburgh, he used to train the kids in a dribble exhibition. I don't know if you knew that. Early on when he was a grad assistant for his 5-star camp he started at. And just an incredible career.
First ballot Hall of Famer, Final Four in 4 of his 7 years in Lexington. Kentucky turns it over out of the timeout.
Nice little job trapping on that. Oh, goodness, what is going on? I mean, one, you've got to see the ball if you're Riley Norris, but he's got to play with a little more confidence. Be steady. He knows. And they've had a number of these. Now, the head is turned, and you don't see the ball. That's a no-no there. And right here, Key giving it up just a little too early. They've had a number of those things go awry.
You see the breakdown in turnovers now, 15 of them. You combine that with the free throw shooting, 3 of 15.
And you're 13 behind. I mean, he can shoot.
This is Willis on a 3, a little bit off. Rebound taken by Ingram.
Little trump by Fox. Nice pry by Ingram.
This will be a 2-shot foul. as Fox picks up his fourth.
It's where you get the feeling if they keep Alabama around, they're going to have some problems coming down the stretch. And they've got to have that knockout punch gun. You mentioned the LSU game, much of a boat ride until late in that game, and all of a sudden, it's a tough one. White knuckler.
Florida has already won today, a home win over Texas A&M. So Kentucky needing a win to keep pace. Tuesday on CBS, NCIS and NCIS New Orleans teaming up for a can't-miss crossover event. A new NCIS and a new NCIS New Orleans Tuesday, only CBS.
And that's 3 for 16 right now from the free throw line. That's unbelievable.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
No, not quite this bad. Look at the, I guess they can count, huh? They are aware. A little stretch of the D again. Once again, that foul line has been vulnerable, and when Briscoe gets in there, he just decimates. He's the point guard right now with Hawkins on the floor.
Briscoe guarded by Collins. Shot clock down at 9. This is Willis. Puts it on the deck. Spinning shot. Got it.
Manufacturing an inside game. Willis more known for that deep ability. A terrific little spin and finish.
Willis, the senior, grew up on an Indian reservation in Wyoming before he moved to Kentucky as a kid. Grew up about an hour and 15 minutes from Lexington. There's a whistle blown here. This is the foul situation for John Calipari. Now Monk is called for his third. Something to keep tabs on for Cal and his staff here, the final 6 and change.
That's one of those you don't want to get your third on a gamble play. Monk trying to be aggressive.
So here's Key at the free throw line. Key is 63% free throw shooter. He's 0 for 1 today.
They get a bigger kick out of making a free throw than anything out here.
Fans have been kind of sitting on their hands today. They were lined up this morning waiting to get in here for such a big SEC showdown. You could feel the juice behind this program of late. The big 4 overtime win earlier this week. Avery Johnson's got him fired up.
He does. He's got people thinking basketball. It's not just football ends and spring practice,
18 wins last year, his first year here in Tuscaloosa. A team that really overachieved.
It is fun to be around. And once again, Willis in the box as the big guy.
Briscoe's pass to Monk. That's a 3, well short. And it's corralled at the other end by Ingram.
And Monk's had 2 questionable deliveries.
Norris thought about it. This is Key baseline.
Pretty.
Taking play. Pretty reverse play.
This could be Adebayo. Let's see where they go with it.
A chance at a 3-point play.
How about this dribble drive and coming over just a little bit late.
It's on Adebayo. He has fouled out.
Wow, was that a big play. Again, this is what's got them tantalizingly close. The dribble drive and attack. Oh, this is a tough situation now. A lot of good can come out of this for Kentucky, though. You get a little bit deeper. His ability on the floor, not only the points, but the great defensive presence.
Adebayo, their leading scorer in this game, 14 points, 7 rebounds, so he is done. And just like that, it's a 10-point game with 6 minutes left.
This is where you need Fox to run the show. Briscoe in the inside, I think, is where he's tougher with this lineup.
Kentucky has missed 7 of its last 9 shots.
Here comes Briscoe with his, he's not coming in though.
Fox left it short. Offensive rebound, fresh 30.
Big, precious rebound. Got to get it if you're Alabama.
Again, Bama has been such a good rebounding team.
Post rubs now.
See the run.
Watch Monk on the curl.
Monk. Rebounding foul and more free throws coming up. Well, what's the call here? It's on Avery Johnson Jr. in Alabama.
Wow. Unbelievable. Pursuing it. That is a tough situation.
So instead of 2 free throws for Ingram and Alabama, it's a 1-and-1 here for Kentucky.
They're seeing if they got the right call, just pointing in the wrong direction.
Well, that young girl is...
She's too young to move. Come on.
Look of concern on her face as the officials now will go to the monitor. They're able to do this to make sure they get it right.
The correct
scenario.
They're saying it's on Alabama, so they can't change it. They can say it's one guy fouling versus the other.
Officials want to confirm who the shooter is here. So the foul was called underneath on Avery Johnson. You saw him battling with Briscoe. Bill, I just didn't see it there.
I didn't either.
It was away from the ball. And that is a huge, huge call, with Alabama just starting to take some of the momentum. And it will be a 1-and-1 here for Isaiah Briscoe, a 71% free throw shooter. He's 0 for 4 in this game. Missed another.
The other way, Humphries.
And that's his 4th.
Boy, they are really running out of bodies at this point.
Alabama in the double bonus, so 2 free throws the rest of the way.
Is that good or bad?
That's a good question. Normally it's a good thing.
You just see Humphrey trying to circle around that left arm, warding off the Tavern League discard.
And this kid has really struggled at the line. He's missed on a couple of really off attempts, if you will. 0 for 4. But Olaniyan with a chance to redeem himself. Graduate transfer from Southern Illinois.
All right. He got a fist. I often think of Rick Barry in this situation when guys struggle. Why not go to the other hand? Because his son down at Florida still does it. An outstanding performer. Helped them in their big win.
A 1 of 2 on this day. Too bad for Alabama. They have cut it to 9 thanks to an 11-4 run.
Trying to get Monk on that baseline.
Monk off target, taken by Ingram. It's a foot race. 7-point game.
To win big-time games, you've got to pursue the basketball. They haven't done a great job. But look at the ward-off here that enables the Ingram to get to the rim. Just a nice job by Riley Norris and using that rim, going to that favored hand. And we got ourselves a pretty good basketball game now. Kentucky in trouble with foul problems, not really getting answers, settling for long jump shots. I think it's got to go through Briscoe. That's who makes great decisions in that lane with his dribble drives.
13-2 run for Bama. They have trailed by as many as 18 points and have led for only 32 seconds in this game. Everyone standing. Fox.
Nice pass.
Dropping a dime to Briscoe.
This kid is tough. I mean, he is a winner. You know he struggles with that jump shot on occasion, but just getting to the right spot, he gave it up to Fox and just didn't stand to count the house. Look at him take that wrap, and look at this just terrific move to the rim there, and now a chance for 3. What a big-time turn.
Olaniyan picks up the foul. See, Briscoe had that triple-double earlier this season.
Big three-point play.
10-point game with 4:21 remaining. Ingram and Key handling. Key a little floater.
With abandon now without any protection.
15 for the freshman. 11 coming since halftime. Briscoe.
5 in a row.
That's good.
How about this kid? I take it back. He can drill that jump shot.
Making you eat your words. This is key. Little hesitation maneuver and a reach-in foul on Wenyen Gabriel. And it'll be Key at the free throw line shooting 2.
Well, we can see the confidence surging. Unbelievable, but Key with the footwork, a little bit of a floater. Unbelievable opportunity. How about that? A little prayer, some insight from above.
Time now to take a look at AT&T fast analysis.
The fastest fox in the world. How about this? We're going to time him, and I don't think he's going full tilt here. Even a little miscue with the bounce, but the defense gives. He takes what's provided. 4.1 of a second. Woo!
Well, there aren't many players faster than that kid in the country. What a play on that last sequence. A reminder coming up, third round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. We will send you out to the West Coast as soon as this one is over. Coverage is right now available on PGAtour.com and CBSSports.com. Well, one thing to keep in mind here, Raph, Adebayo has fouled out, been their leading scorer at 14 points. Also some great work underneath, and that kind of changes the complexion of these final 3:48.
Spiro, he's changed the game both ways by his presence and then being out of the game. They're able to drive now, Alabama, get into the lane and get some opportunities at the free throw line, and a raucous crowd on made free throws.
Alabama 14-9 overall, 7-4 in conference play. Trying to follow up that epic 4 overtime victory at South Carolina on Tuesday night. Kentucky, meantime, started the day in the 3-way tie atop the SEC standings. Right now playing behind Florida as the Gators were winners earlier today at home against Texas A&M.
They got a piece of paper on the floor. Straight up man-to-man right now.
These are the up-to-the-minute standings, so the Gators get to 10-2. And now South Carolina and Kentucky knotted in that second slot at 9-2.
A great night against Kentucky as well. A little ball screen, trying to get Fox to turn the corner. It's a guards game right now.
South Carolina plays at Mississippi State later tonight. Monk! Gabriel had it, it's loose. Play is diving all over the place. Who wants it?
They got a foul?
It'll be on Braxton Key, I believe.
Wow, I thought that was just great basketball. Now this is the hardwood, not on the grass. Now how does, oh, they're going the other way. Couldn't be on Key.
The officials initially pointed to Key, and now it looks like it's on Kentucky. The officials say it's on Wenyen Gabriel.
In fairness, I think he was pointing that he was going to be the shooter.
So that'll be Gabriel's 4th personal, and it will be Braxton Key at the free throw line. Looks like he's trying to flex out that right hand. But Bill, what effort by both teams.
I loved it.
Players leaving everything on the floor.
That's the way it should be. This is a good test for Kentucky, too. John's had to use a lot of guys, give them a lot of minutes, because you want to get out with a win, but to find out how deep and involved your bench is as well.
Alabama today, if you've just joined us, 8 for 25 at the free throw line. Key is 3 of 7. 8-point game.
They will rue this if they lose it, the free throw shooting. Stops, that's what you're thinking of, and any rebound you must get if you're Alabama.
Sellout crowd, better than 15,000 here in Tuscaloosa. Last touch by Key with 21 to shoot.
No, that was deflected. They got it right. There was a hand on it. Just a little, see that little change, and he pulled it away. Good call.
Great look by our cameraman here in Alabama. Monk making Fox. Turn in the corner, left it short. Rebound taken by Olaniyan and Bama. 8-point game as we move under the 3-minute mark.
Got to use the bounce to get into that 3-second area.
Ingram only 8 points so far. Here he comes. Left-hand finish. And here comes Alabama.
For bad preparation. You got to get on his left hand.
Kentucky at this end has missed 6 of its last 8 shots.
Monk's got to get moving. He's been standing still.
Monk only a dozen points. This is Briscoe. Contact and a foul.
This kid, his ticker is immense. That's 7 points coming down the stretch with a chance for 8. And this is just individual want, desire, and impact on a program. And the other end, you got to take away his left. Little cup job and the ability to switch and gyrate at the rim.
And they have needed all 14. They'll make it 11 points for Briscoe. They've needed all of it today. Fox in single-digit points. Malik Monk only at a dozen. And now Adebayo on the bench having fouled out with his 14 points.
This is the leader. No question about it. Ooh, Humphrey's got away with one.
8-point game. Alabama has hit its last 4 shots. Under 2 minutes left. Ingram challenges Humphreys, knocked out of bounds. 19 to shoot.
Nice job by Humphreys. Strung it out, gave ground, walled up. A big-time presentation. And right here, it is tough for big guys when you got the quick maneuverability of a guy like Ingram.
Avery Johnson calling for time in an 8-point game on CBS. AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am coverage comes your way next. You can check it out right now, PGAtour.com and CBSSports.com. So $1:54 to play. 8-point Kentucky lead here. Bam Adebayo has fouled out. The leading scorer today, if you've just joined us. As Avery Johnson continues the chess match, Bill looking for some late-game offense.
Yeah, he's got his team competing. That's what you want. A little cross-screen, re-screen.
Key goes right back to Ingram. Briscoe on his back.
Nice help by Humphrey because he's a pretty good post-up guy, Ingram.
7 to shoot. Key. That's good.
Big time delivery.
So Braxton Key, after a quiet start, 19 points. And a timeout taken by John Calipari. 6-point game as we come down the stretch on CBS. Game reset, 92 seconds to play here in Tuscaloosa. Kentucky clinging to a 6-point lead. They've led by as many as 18. But similar to what we saw in their game Tuesday at home against LSU. Not quite this tight. But they've had to hold off a late charge.
Just get it to Briscoe. I mean, he has just been magnificent. Not forcing anything, making great decisions. He'll find people if you jam him up, too.
Kentucky at the moment in a tie for second place with South Carolina. Florida getting the win earlier today, now at 10-2. This is Briscoe. What a second half he's had. Fox.
Cross screen.
Willis from deep. Got it!
Dagger! How about that call? A little early onions. Pick and pop. A little slip to the 3.
Kentucky with its first made 3 since halftime. What a finish by Key.
What a quick counter. They need Key to do this all game.
Key with 17 of his 21 in the second half.
Wisely using clock. And then here comes a trap.
Avery Johnson calling for Davis to come over as a second defender. Still plenty of time to shoot. Monk turn in the corner. Majestic finish.
How about that with the left hand? Gliding, under control, so efficient. Another turnover.
Away. Fox out of the fray. No one back.
That's a say goodnight. And boy, valuing the ball and free throws has been such a tough time for Alabama. Kentucky's defense, they've been working hard on it. Overtime, a Fox in the open floor. Tough to capture. Big time. Send it in.
Well, just like that, Kentucky extends its lead from 6 to 11 with 32 seconds to play, and that's how quickly they can turn out the lights on you.
Boy, it's amazing. Part of coaching is being a salesman, and we know John, a marketer, heck of a coach. but selling the team on believing in defense. I mean, that was what the whole couple of days and arduous practice sessions were about. And they just created havoc. You didn't have to rely on your offense. Your bench stepped up. That's got to make him feel like he's had a very happy birthday.
Well, Kentucky stormed out of the gates, looked every bit a championship contender. With this recent little stretch before the victory Tuesday over LSU, in which they went 1-3, could have very well been a 4-game losing streak had it not been for that frantic comeback win against Georgia.
Well, in our mock draft in the Midwest, they were the 3rd seed. I think they might be better than that. This is a team that can improve. I've seen them at their best. It's been a little struggle, but that happens with young people. They don't believe, they don't concentrate as much.
This is Collins on a 3. That's good. So Bama not going quietly. That'll cut it to 8. 16.2 is now Alabama will try to extend the game with 15.5 to play.
And this Alabama team deserves support here, too. Keep the crowd coming, keep the enthusiasm. Nobody's got more juice than that guy. Of course, John Pelfrey, well known as a terrific Kentucky player back in his heyday. Big John. And it's got to be tough for him, too.
Bill, this is a program on the rise, without a doubt. There's Pelfrey or Johnson's bench. They have a top 5 recruiting class coming in here next year. As Johnson has just been a perfect fit for this program and really for the college game in general.
No question about it. And you look at this Kentucky team, and we know what Briscoe's done. He's put this team on his shoulder down the stretch. But where would they be without Hawkins' performance, particularly in that first half? So John got some bench help. Humphrey's another one.
Quick 2 at the other end.
And a little grab again, trying to extend the game. And Briscoe running down the floor. He just loves to lead this team.
And Kentucky still has to face Florida. That'll be a big one later this month, February the 25th. A game you'll see right here on CBS. A team that they're trying to keep tabs on and keep pace with atop the SEC. So Monk at the line hits the first.
That's what a great shot, huh? Forlorn and not rubbing it in. I like that style.
So Monk, who had that little stretch where he struggled, 2nd consecutive strong game, and the Kentucky Wildcats absorbing that late charge from Alabama, coming to Tuscaloosa and picking up a critical road win in conference play. So with the victory, Kentucky now back atop the SEC, 10-2, tied with Florida, the team that beat them up pretty good last weekend down in Gainesville. South Carolina playing later tonight. Now for Bill Raftery, our producer Mark Wolf, Bob Fishman, our director, rest of our crew, Spiro Dita saying so long from Tuscaloosa. Coming up next, 3rd round coverage of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the 2017 Men's National Championship.